Freya.
For Asgard!
Hello there everybody, whether you're inside, I'm SuperSonicBlur and welcome back to another God Guide. This time, I'm going to be going with Freya. Why Freya? Because as it stands in the meta, thanks to the lack of Golden Bow that was sort of the scourge of magical hunters can come back, and because of the way that the game is right now, late game is probably the favored side of things. You're either going to get fed off your tits, and so you will steamroll early and get super high levels, and you'll get super good farm, and you'll destroy your opponents in 20 minutes, or your opponents will be even with you for about 50 minutes. Either way, you're going to end up with high farm, and you'll usually end up being able to hit to the late game. As a result, Freya is one of the best for that late game. She can chase down and just completely like 1v1 destroy anyone. She can just sit there and burn them. She can be reasonably safe as well with her actives and her ultimate. She can just do a lot, and she's very, very good at burning. She's not the best objective pressure, not the best early game, but that doesn't matter. Once you get into that mid and late game, Freya just destroys, and it's absolutely fantastic. Why does she destroy? Well, let's get into her kit. Alright, so Freya's passive is called Brisingamen's Blessing. Try saying that 5 times fast. But this just gives Freya 15% magical lifesteal. It doesn't sound like it does much, but that's actually pretty good. That means that already she can start healing up. It does go under with the coefficient of 33.3% for abilities and stuff, but it's still pretty good to have that little bit of lifesteal. It doesn't do much, it's like 2, 3, but it's still nice, a little bit of sustain. It's very, very nice. Doesn't have a basic attack chain or anything like that, no progression or anything like that, but it is pretty strong, and it's just a nice solid basic attack. Now, the important thing to note is she's melee ranged. She is melee ranged. She's got a sword, so she's melee ranged. But, well, we'll get into that in a little bit later, but Irradiate is her one. Freya activates a buff that makes her basic attacks do additional magical damage. Doesn't sound like much. 40 additional damage on a basic attack is pretty good. So what you'll see is this is a normal basic attack. In fact, I'll just go over and show you what it is. So you'll see normal basic attack is 28, is normal 28. And what you see when I do this is you'll see 28 and 31. That additional damage is the one there, is Irradiate. And that's pretty damn cool. So that's what Irradiate does, is Irradiate gives you bonus damage, and it's pretty fun. And you can hear that there's a difference in the way that Freya speaks and the way she says stuff. Pulse is her 2, and this is why she is a hunter, or suited to hunter role. Freya activates a buff that makes her basic attacks ranged, dealing additional magical damage and slowing the target and all nearby enemies. The area, effect, and slow are lost when Irradiate is active, and Pulse. So this does 25% slow, pretty good, and a little bit additional damage. It's not much, but it's a nice little bit. So what you'll see is this. Now what's important to note here is that your basic attack also becomes technically an ability. So you'll see that they both move over to being abilities, hence why they were both orange rather than both one being like an Irradiate. One was orange, one was white. White is the basic attack, and the orange is Irradiate. In this version, they're both technically abilities. The slow and AoE are real nice, and as you can see when you activate the pair of them, you lose the additional damage. Now, you'll notice there that there are only 2 numbers that are added there. That's because the additional damage from Irradiate and the additional damage from Pulse, basically they sort of conglomerate into one thing. So if I activate the 2 of them, I can't because I don't have enough mana. I couldn't activate it because I didn't have enough mana. But either way, you'll get the idea when I go over the build and things. 3 is called Banish, which quite simply does what it says on the tin. It's a banish, a up to 2-second banish. This is her, I need to either chase you down or I need people to get off my booty, so banish. It's pretty nice, a reasonable range on it as well, so it just does what it says on the tin. Look, here's the range, here's everything that can be banished, up to around there, and whoop, banished. Can't do anything. Also as well, this kills all momentum that you have. Unlike a knock-up where you can get knocked up to the side or you can get pushed away like that, this kills all your momentum, so you drop straight back down. Meaning that you can set up off of this actually quite nicely as well, which is pretty damn useful. And then Freya's ultimate, Valkyries Discretion. Freya uses her Cloak of Feathers to fly above the battlefield, where she fires down a blast of magical damage up to 4 times while flying. Freya is banished when at full ascension and can cancel at any time, and she can't be hit when she's in the air. Now this is really important where it says she is at full height. At full height. That means that during the wind-up she can still be hit. So she can still be hit now, can't be hit. It's a very short period of time, but she can't be hit for it. She's banished when she does that, meaning that she can't heal, can't get applied any additional damage. If she's got a dot on her, she will still take it. If she's got Nuwa ult on her, she'll still take it. But other than that, that's pretty much how it works. Think of it in the same way that you would like a Ram who goes above the sky, and it's like, oh, you can't hit me or do anything like that. That's what a banish is. So that's how it works. Pretty damn useful. So a pretty interesting kit, definitely focused on basic attacks here with her 1 and her 2, and she's got some good sort of safety in her ultimate and her 3. Her 3 will enable her to be able to get people in and out of fights, so she can do that. She can get multiple people with that, and her ultimate's going to give her a safety net. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over a leveling guide. Okay then, so level 1, what are you gonna need? Well, you're gonna need your pulse. Why pulse? Because pulse is not only AoE, it's also your wave clear. Do not get irradiate unless you're very, very lucky. Unless you're very lucky with the way that your kit's gonna be, you're pretty much gonna have to get your 2. Why your 2? You need the 2 quite simply because this is the wave clear, this is also your AoE, this is also going to be the best way for you to be able to clear camps early. Once you've got that, depending on what you're doing in lane, depending on who you're laning with, it depends on what you're going to do. Chances are, and this is always going to happen, you will be pushed under tower. You are a Freya, you will get pushed under tower. You have no lane clear whatsoever. So you will be pushed back under tower. You can have a Khepri, you could have a Guan Yu, you could have, I don't know, you could have a Fafnir. You get no wave clear. So it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to have any wave clear. Picking up Banish second can help you sort of ease their pressure. This is like, they're like, oh, they've got a Freya in lane, we can totally pressure and push them and poke them out. Getting Banish will enable you to say, hey, whoa, stop. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that at all. Don't do that. So as a result, this is going to be your sort of breath of fresh air for a second. Giving you a second to get out is very, very useful. Level 3, you aren't going to need your 1, you're going to need your wave clear. Get your second point in pulse, get yourself some more wave clear. That is all you need. Level 4, you get Irradiate. Irradiate is going to give you a little bit additional clear when your 2 isn't up, but it's not going to do much. You're getting it for the sake of getting it. You still can't really box or fight anything. Level 5, you're going to pick up Valkyrie's Discretion. It's not going to do much damage. You don't need it to do much damage. You need it more for the fact that you can get out for... I think it's like 2 seconds you are in the air for. So that's an additional 2 seconds of movement time when you're CC immune as well. So you can just get out of things, which is very, very useful to be able to do. Level 6, get your next point in pulse. Level 7, next point in pulse. Level 8, pick up Irradiate. You don't need your ultimate. Your ultimate you only really need for the get out of jail free in the early stages. The main focus of where your damage is pulse and irradiate. At this point, once you've got a couple items online, you can start looking to maybe make a couple trades back and forth depending on how you're doing in lane against your opponent. So you can look to do it. Level 9, finish off your pulse. After this, through to level, pretty much through to level 12, you want to pick up all of your irradiate. At this point, Freya can effectively box anyone. She has full pulse, she has full irradiate. The additional damage you can get off from this alone is 160 additional damage. Plus, what, maybe 80 or so? You know, that's technically another 200%. She does 300% damage. Plus, as well, there's also scaling on this as well. Don't forget that. There's scaling on this. At this point now, you're going to want to pick up Valkyrie's Discretion, get all of Valkyrie's Discretion, and now you're going to start needing to get Banished when you can. Pick up Valkyrie's Discretion when you can, and then finish up with Banish. And at this point, you have a full Freya. Freya is pretty damn strong at this point. She's got a fairly decent speed attack chain, and when she activates these, you'll see she does 50 and 122. That's without any items. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Her ultimate, pretty good as well. 183 3 times. It's pretty strong. So yeah, that's Freya, and that's how you're going to build her. That's pretty much all you're going to need to do for building her. Remember, early game, you are not able to clear. You are not able to do much. As a result, you pretty much need to just sit back and let things happen to you. But whilst you're doing that, you can be building items. What items? Well, let's have a look at those right now. Okay, so in terms of items then, you got a very easy choice for you. You can either go for Vamp Shroud. Vamp Shroud is the sort of equivalent of Amaterasu getting a Death's Toll in solo lane. It's saying, hey, I'm going to get pushed back. This is just going to help me sustain a little bit, and you know, it's not bad. I'm gonna get poked. This is gonna keep me healed up. You can go for that. Or one thing that you can go for, which I really, really like on Freya. It's a little bit riskier, so be careful. But you can do it, is Soulstone. Why would you go Soulstone? Well, because it does a couple things that are very important. First of all, I'll show you. First of all, you stack it up with basic attacks. But watch what happens when I use my 2 procs. Oh, look. It's stacking. It stacks up whilst you're using your 1 and your 2. So I'll show you again with the 1. 1, 2. It's stacking up. Why is it stacking up? Because it still applies basic attack damage. You're still doing basic attacks when you use your pulse or your irradiate. So as a result, you're going to get additional... you're going to get this thing stacking as well as proccing. It's amazing. So it's so useful. Also as well, something interesting to note, if you use your 1, you get 11 additional damage. Whereas if you use your 3, if you use your 2, I believe you get 8. I think it is. Let me see. Oh no, it's 6. Sorry, do excuse me. Another important thing as well, Pulse Irradiate combo. Depending on which one you use first, depends on which one the Soulstone will stack first. So I'll use Irradiate Pulse, and you'll see I get 11. However, if I do it the other way around, then you will get an additional 8. No, you'll get the additional 6. Sorry, my brain is all over the place right now. But as you can see, you get the... Oh no, you do get the additional 11. What? I'm so confused. I don't know. I guess it does work differently. It's weird, it's strange how it works, but it works in strange, mysterious ways. Just note that Soulstone can proc for 2 different values on your 1 and your 2 if you use them together. Either way, you can pick that up. Now, another thing that you can do is, if you can get away with it, is you can start with Ancient Blade. Why would you start with Ancient Blade first off? Well, it's 10% additional attack speed, and you're going to be building into one of the 4 items on this tree anyway. 10 points if you know which one it is already. Congratulations, you get a cookie and 10 points. But you can start off with Ancient Blade. It's going to give you a little bit of additional movement speed, and then I believe with this it's 800 and 580, so that's 3,800. You can get one of each potion, which is not too bad. So you get one of each potion. The other option you can do is you can go in for boots. The reason why you'll want to run in for boots is because then it means that instead of doing this, you'll be going for a 1,300 back, which is pretty strong. Either way, you're going to be doing that. Personally, if I can get away with it, I will get the first part of Hasten, just because the additional attack speed is nice. And coupled with this, you don't have the worst clear in the world. You will still probably get pushed under the tower. If you know that you're against a lane where you're just gonna you know there's nothing you can do, then the absolute safest start that you can go is Vamp Shroud and Shoes of the Magi. You can go for Shoes. This means that you just need the 1,300 to be able to go for Shoes of the Magi. So you get Shoes of the Magi. Once you have Shoes of the Magi, next thing you're going to be picking up, it's not going to be a Winged Blade. It's not going to be a Witch Blade. You used to run Rich Blade because it used to give movement speed as well, which meant Freya with Witch Blade was just used to box everyone, and they couldn't box against you because you had protections and attack speed and movement speed, and it was great. You're not going to get a Ritual Dagger. You're going to get a Hasten Fatalis. Why a Hasten Fatalis? Because Freya needs the movement speed. She also needs the attack speed. Also as well, she's the only god where it is absolutely core to build a Hasten Fatalis on, which means she has a huge advantage against nearly every other hunter, mid lanes, solo lanes, assassins, and even guardians. She can chase them down because she has a 25% slow in her kit, and she doesn't have the basic attack movement speed penalty, which means she can do a lot. It means that you hit people with pulse, and then you can hit people with radiate, and you just start chasing them down, and it's nuts. Next up, do not build Telkine's Ring. I don't see why people do this. They build Telkine's Ring thinking, oh, it's magical power and attack speed, and my basic attack is going to do more damage, it's going to be great. No, You don't need it. You really don't need it. It's a waste of 1,225 gold, when for an additional 155 gold, you can just get Demonic Grip. It's more power, slightly less attack speed by 5%. Not really going to matter. But what it is a butt ton of pen. It is 36% pen. That is great. Build it. It's great. Love it. Next item you're going to want to pick up. It's not Roller Tahuti, actually. It's on a completely different tree. It is Spear of the Mages. Next patch, or sorry, tomorrow for me, but next patch and out for you guys already, Spear of the Mages has 50 power, 15 penetration. It also comes with its stacks of, 30 reduction. As a whole, that thing is 45 pen, which is pretty good. Now, also as well, include the 10 penetration for Shoes of the Magi. You have 55 flat pen. If you feel like it, you can pick up Spear of the Magus before Demonic Grip. However, Demonic Grip is going to give you the attack speed as well, which is usually why you're going to pick this up first. It does also as well come with a little bit more power. Sure, it means that going against the squishier ones, it's not going to do as much, but if you're getting ganked by a warrior, jungle, or you're moving in for team fights and stuff, you can still burn through a lot. And Spirit of the Magus next. This means that you literally burn through anyone. This means you have 55 flat pen and 36%. That's pretty good. Okay, that's not pretty good. That is insanely good. Next item is another item that is going to be changed in the next patch. Pythagorean's Piece. This item is amazing. Love it. It's great. More cooldown, not more cooldown on it, more lifesteal on it, more power on the aura. It's absolutely great. Pick up this item. It's 90 magical power, it's 25% lifesteal and 10% CDR. Freya loves every single one of those pieces there. It's so good. Absolutely amazing. People build into Bancroft's talent because it's 100 magical power and you get nearly 100 power when you're at 25% health. It's great, yeah. However, Pythagorean just does more for her. Couple in as well with her passive, and here's something that you'll notice that's very interesting about Freya. Look at her passive. No, where is it? There it is. It's under lifesteal. Magical lifesteal, 40%, because you've got 15% and the 25% from Pythagorean's Piece. It's amazing. It's so good on Freya. Love it. Cooldown means your abilities are on cooldown for less time, means that your ults as an escape is up for a shorter period of time. Magical means that you can also as well, if you've got any magical in like the jungle, say you're running an Alquang jungle, or you're mid still magical, you're going to be able to give them lifesteal. Your Guardian, you'd be able to give them lifesteal. It's amazing and great, and I love it. It's so good. And finally, what build wouldn't be complete for a mage without Roller Tahuti? Absolutely great. Roller Tahuti as well has a weird effect on your basic attacks. I can't explain it, but just trust me, the actual amount that your basic attacks do is more with, it's more with a Roller Tahuti for this amount of power. I will show you as best I can. If I sell this, I need like 400 odd power. So let's just go for like a Thoth or something, which I know has a huge amount of power. As you can see, it's like 300 there. Let me just sell Hasten as well, and I need like another 100 power. So I'll just get Bancroft's Talon. And as you can see, look, for less power than I had before, I do less. For more power than I had before, I do less on the basic attacks. So it's important to know that it just works like that. I don't know why, but it does. Roller Tahuti just does that. So yeah, as you can see, you do more damage with basic attacks, you do more good stuff. And this is the full Freya build. Freya, she chunks. Look at this. Look at the attack speed. It's a nice high attack speed, and you can do this. Now, important thing to note about Freya. Please, for the love of God, it's the same with every hunter, though, especially with Freya. Do not do this. Because what you've done there is you have wasted your 2. What you need to do is you need to get yourself focused. Once you hit like 3 of these, switch on to adding your 1 at the same time, and look at how much damage it does. It does a lot of bonus damage. Actually, what are the numbers? Okay, so with Irradiate, every bonus damage, the bonus damage is 215, 216-ish. Pulse is an additional 230. Alright, that's a lot. That's a lot. Do you know how much that is? Well, on your basic attack's doing 174. If we proc both of these, that's an additional double, pretty much. That is an additional 200% damage coming at you very, very hard. That is the same as a hunter critting you every single time for what, 5 seconds? 4, 5 seconds? Yeah, 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds straight, you're going to be crit. For like 5 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so you get like 10 shots in. 10 shots in, times this damage through, so you've got 300, that's 3,000 damage. Freya hurts late game. Also, as well, her ultimate. 402 damage. Per shot. That is a lot. That is a lot of damage right now, ladies and gentlemen. 402 damage, 4 times. 1,600 damage. That's a lot. This is so much. Freya late game becomes nigh impossible to box with. The one thing that you do want to fight into against as a Freya is you want to make sure that she loves fighting people like 1v1. She loves mowing down people one at a time. She can get overwhelmed very easily. Oh, as for actives, really easy, obvious ones. First one you're going to get is beads. Why beads? Because you need it to be able to get out of dodge when you're in a bind. Second one, sanctuary. These actives will keep you alive so easy. And in the stages of like level 12 and things, if you need to get out, you have your banish. If they beat you banish, you can sanctuary for 2 seconds. And if you need to, you use your ultimate as a get out of jail free card for another 2 seconds, turn around and fire at them. And that's what you do as Freya. She just does so much damage. I mean, just watch this, Ra. Watch this. Hey, Ra. Hey, Ra. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see a dead Ra. So yeah, you have 1,215 health. Alright. And just, it chunks. It absolutely chunks. Freya can just destroy someone. In fact, she could probably do this and completely... Alright, so she almost kills him in the ult. Freya is insane late game, and without her golden bow, Freya is so happy. Does she lose early game? Yes. Does she suffer from low clear? Yes. Does she turn up mid game? Kind of. Can she get fed and steamrolled? Yes. Can she destroy near enough anyone in the late game? Yes. Is she a good pick right now? Yes, most definitely. This kind of stuff is so good to see on a Freya. If you want as well, then you can try some other things on her, like I said. Another thing that I don't like though is Polynomicon. It's not worth it. Building Polynomicon is requiring you to hit the first basic attack after you use an ability. Sounds really good on Freya. It's like, oh my god, I do like 1 million damage. I'm just gonna blow someone up super hard. Yeah, that's true, but let's say you use your banish. What you are now doing is you are saying that I will perfectly time coming out of banish to hit them with the basic attack. Let's say you use pulse or irradiate or something. Yeah, you're gonna get that additional damage, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Freya, super strong, super good late game. If you want to try and... The best thing to do against Freya is CC her. CC her is really, really strong. Force her ultimate into an engagement, and she doesn't do very good against burst. She's very bursty herself, but she kind of is lacking in a lot of stats, like, for example, defensive stats and health. So if you can burn her down pretty good and survive her for long enough, then you'll be fine. Disarms as well, stupid good against her, so, rah, enough. Stupid good against her. What she is going to look to do is she's literally going to look for a fight to start happening. She'll sit in the back line, she'll move forward slightly, she'll pulse, then she'll do this, then she'll do this. And then she'll blow someone up. If she needs to, then she will ult as well and just throw down 1 million damage. Other thing she'll look to do as well is when she's in the backline is she'll look to try and find a target for the team to fight on. Say that the enemy support is aggressing. She'll banish the support. Once the support's gone, you can then move forward and start aggression onto the backline. Freya is just so strong, like almost like a nemesis strong, in a sense that she hits late game, she finds a target, and then they're gone. And then they're just gone, like straight up gone. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've talked enough now about Freya and how amazing and fantastic her kit is. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought. Do you like the build? Do you think that she is OP and needs a nerf? Do you think she's needs a buff? I'd love it if they gave my Freya a buff, but they won't. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below. Did you find these useful? Are there things that you agree with, disagree with? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Either way, I have been SuperSonicBlur. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and favorite for more, to share this stuff so people know that it exists. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I shall see you all next time.